The Rookie is a 1990 action movie directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood, Charlie Sheen, Raj Julia, and Tom Skerritt. And, okay, this is probably one of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies of all time. And it is kind of the, it's the buddy cop formula where you got the old, burnt out, rugged, badass detective with the rookie, played by Charlie Sheen. And Charlie Sheen is, very by the book, kind of get beat up his ass kicked throughout the entire movie, and it's just shows like an evolution of his character. Now, to me, I love this movie because it starts off just very much a buddy cop movie, but slowly transitions into a character piece of Charlie Sheen and him having to man up and just face the details and do what he has to do. And he has this because everybody's underestimating him, and he's ends up getting Clint Eastwood taken prisoner, and he gets just so beat down that he has this line. He goes, "I'm tired of running. I've been running my entire fucking life. I am done with it." And then, it flips to where the second half of the movie is just being an ultra badass, and just, it's awesome. So, the basic plot synopsis is you got Charlie Sheen and Clint Eastwood, and they're tracking these drug smugglers played by Rod Julia. They just need, evidence. And wacky shenanigans happen, and you find good kind of background of how Charlie Sheen blames himself for his brother's death. And so you got this thing where, in the movie's constantly trying to seek redemption of himself and for himself. And like I said, he inadvertently lets Clint Eastwood get kidnapped. And so all this character development is build up to the finale. This finale, like the last 40 minutes, amazing. Like, I could see Clint Eastwood just wanting to make this movie for the last 40 minutes. Because it's awesome. So, this is just such a good movie. Because it just shows the evolution of Charlie Sheen's character. But what ends up happening, so as soon as Clint Eastwood gets kidnapped, Charlie Sheen just takes it upon himself to, like, this is my mistake. I'm gonna fix it. So he goes back to the bar that he got his ass kicked at, that Clint Eastwood saved him. And so, like, they start ganging up on him again, and he just straight up shoots a dog. And he gets up, and he's like, okay, who's fucking next? And he burns the place to the ground, steals a motorcycle, and then he's off. And then he's just going to all these other spots. And, like, all these other characters that were giving him shit at the beginning, and he's turning the table on them. And the final action scene where it's, so how Clint Eastwood got captured is, this girl had a gun on Charlie Sheen, and instead of shooting her, he hesitated, and she shot him. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. Like, he turned away to run, and, like, she shot him in the back. And, so they play that scene again where he has her, where, like, she's shooting everybody, and he sneaks up behind her, and he just cocks a gun, and she turns around, and he just guns her down. Awesome. There's just really good shootouts and fight scenes, and it is a movie that kind of goes full circle, so at the end, it's Charlie Sheen gets a partner, and Clint Eastwood's the chief now. So it is a very predictable movie in the sense of the formula, but it's just a really fun movie, and sometimes you just need a light action movie with something to say, with good lines of dialogue, and just good action sequences. And I am surprised that Clint Eastwood directed this, because a lot of Clint Eastwood movies, especially towards like the 90s that he was directing, are very Clint Eastwood eccentric. Like, almost in a way kind of like vanity projects, like especially Unforgiven. Like, Unforgiven's a good movie, but is very Clint Eastwood eccentric. And this one, he gets captured, so he's out of the movie for like a good 25 minutes. Like, he's still in the movie, but, he's not being a super badass. he's just tied to a chair for 25 minutes while Charlie Sheen's doing all the badass shit. And so I'm like, whoa. Because, like, if you're Clint Eastwood, why not do badass Clint Eastwood shit? But I really like it that he did take a step back and be like, nah, I'm gonna let Charlie Sheen do this shit. And this movie really solidifies why I love Charlie Sheen as much as they do. Especially early Charlie Sheen, from like Platoon to like the late 90s is when he really hit his stride and he was just an awesome shit after awesome shit. And, it's a shame that he had such a hard fall from grace that he did. But I give this movie a solid 5 out of 5.